sleep 8 to 10 hours. But in reality, what happens is we sleep for, 5 to 6 hours, which is not good. And which also contradicts to your promise, kumbaga. So that is one example. And last example is social media detox. So some of us, especially when we're so intoxicated with social media, we will say that, we'll try to um, avoid ourselves from social medias like Facebook or Twitter. Like we try to say to ourselves that, oh my God, um I'm so intoxicated already. Like I don't like the things that I am seeing on social media right now. At first you will be like that, but hours or days later, you will just see yourself scrolling again on Facebook and Twitter. So that is an example of cognitive dissonance, wherein you're contradicting your beliefs or your promises to your actions. So kumbaga, this is an example of pangakong napapako. So ayun. So next slide. So this is now our solutions to solve cognitive dissonance. So the first one is, of course, change of perception. It is important that we should change view of things and actions in life when you're feeling that your action is opposing to your belief. So just like social media detox, you know, you say that um social media is already intoxicating, but you still continue on scrolling and exploring social media. You should try to change your perception, or you should try to change your view on social media so that you could keep your promise. Next is we should also reflect of actions. So you will know what is happening, and you will know if what you're experiencing right now is cognitive dissonance or not. So try to pause and take a break for a while from the things that you're doing, and try to reflect and see if what are the things you should do, or what are the things you should stop doing. Next is you also need to realize things, especially if, for example, you're doing something that is dangerous already for you, like drinking alcohol. You need to one day have, realize things and rationalize, so you should know if you will continue drinking alcohol or not. So that's it. The next one is change of action. So here, this is obviously, this is obvious. So here is when you know that your actions is already not good for you, or you're already exceeding it, then try yourself, or try to change that action slowly and slowly. Try to gradually change it. Because if you change it too fast and too rapidly, which is our next point, if you change so fast, it will fail. You will eventually not change. That's why I'm always saying that you should try to change slowly and slowly but surely. Unlike if you change so fast, that change will just, you know, um, that will not continue in the long run. Kumbaga, it's just temporary change, and then you will go back to your old habits. So, mo na siya. And you should also keep yourself grounded and promise that you should avoid doing things, especially if it's wrong, and even if it's tempting to do, not do it. So try to, let us say, if you know that it's already wrong, or if you know that it's already something that's not good anymore to you, then um, try to make yourself grounded from it. Yan. So next slide. So here is you change your belief. So this is the last, or basically the most important solution. So you should change if you are realizing, or if you are kind of know, or you're kind of trying to know, or you're discovering that your beliefs is already wrong, or it's not right for you, or not healthy for you anymore, then try to change it. You know, like, if you thought at first that your belief, for example, you believe that superstitious is real. At first, you are believing and following it, but there is a time that you realize that I think this is not right anymore, or I think this is, you know, this is not good for me anymore. So try to change that belief. You know, try to slowly change, and don't stick to it as much as possible. Yan. So changing your belief is an important, I believe this should be your step one in changing yourself. And this is also number one solution to resolve your cognitive dissonance. Yun. So this may be a simple solution, but it's really hard to put it into action. That's what they say, easier said than done. So, you know, as much as possible, try to slowly and um, try to habitually change your belief so that you could have it successfully. Yun. So next slide. So this is the essence of cognitive dissonance theory. So the cognitive dissonance is important because it can inspire us to change for the better. Um, it means that when we discover that we're experiencing cognitive dissonance, you know, it could um, make us realization and could wake us up to change ourselves if there is something to change. Second is, it could also influence us to lessen the actions that is unpleasant and brings you discomfort. So this means that um, it could, for example, if you have a bad habit of smoking, it could influence you on um, not doing it or avoiding it as much as possible. So third is, it also brings you awareness of yourself and your action. So once you have discovered that you are having cognitive dissonance stage of your life, you will be aware of yourself, and you will be aware of the things that you're doing. Because some of us, don't discover, or are not aware of the things that we're doing. Like, we just keep on doing it and doing it without realizing if there is something wrong or something right. So that's it. And last is, it could improve our decision making ability, of course. Like, once you discover already what is right and wrong for you, or you're already discovering yourself more and more, you will try to improve your decisions next time. Like, kumbaga, you will improve your choices in life. You will try to make right choices as much as possible. So these are all the essence of cognitive dissonance theory. So now we will have the preventive measures of cognitive dissonance theory. So here, if, for example, if you feel like um, you're experiencing it already, or you're already having contradicting beliefs and thoughts and actions, the first thing you should do is try to socialize. Here, when you socialize, you can know different people, and you can know their different beliefs in life, and you can try to resonate, or you can try to um, apply or acquire their beliefs. This is also the time where you can see, the different beliefs and actions of people. So, mo na siya. Second is, try to have a diary or journal. For example, when you're feeling down, or like, for example, when you're feeling doing the wrong thing, try to make a journal and, write all your thoughts and feelings and read it and, try to reflect and analyze what you wrote. And with that, you can have solutions or next step on things that you should do on your problems or on your dilemmas. Next is you consult a counselor or psychologist. Like, for example, when it's really affecting your mental health, um, it's super, sumusobra na yung effect niya. Try to consult maybe if you're a student, try to consult your guidance counselor. Like, if you have problems with your moral beliefs or your moral principles, try to consult your guidance counselor and ask if your beliefs or principles is still right, or if you're on the right path, basically. And also try to ask on psychologists, if you are a worker or if you are an employee you know and your workplace is already toxic and you're already experiencing cognitive dissonance in your workplace, try to consult your psychologist and ask if what you should do to change that thoughts or beliefs you have. So now we'll move on to our last slide, which is the conclusion, of course. So cognitive dissonance will be turned into disaster when you justify it in defending misconduct. So another example here is drinking. Because some people try to defend that drinking is good. In reality, it's not. They're trying to justify that drinking has a positive psychological effects or positive mental health effects, but in reality, it's not. They're trying to justify wrong actions. And we need to stop them from having that mentality so that they will know what's right and they will know that, it is not correct. Like, if you're trying to um, push or justify wrong beliefs, you could be having, a mental problem in the future. So, as much as possible, we need to try, you know, to solve cognitive dissonance as early as possible, as early as when you're experiencing it, not when you already have too much of it. So also, if it's not solved, it could have a bigger problem in the long run, and it could have a bigger weight on you physically and mentally. And also, it could affect your decision making ability. So, like, if you continue having experiencing discomfort and you just let it pass, in the future you might have hard time in making decisions and choices of life. And lastly, addressing cognitive dissonance as early as possible could improve ourselves and help us to be aware of our surroundings, and most especially to be aware of our beliefs, if it's still right or not anymore. So that's it. I hope you have learned something, and thank you so much for listening, guys. Goodbye. Do you have any questions? Just raise your hand. Thank you.